today's society, you can't pick up a newspaper without having issues with regard to character being a lead story.
The guys that were running Enron, WorldCom, or Arthur Andersen, companies that have had great deception. The people that were running the show went to some of the best schools in America.
One of the reasons our country was so great for so long is because it had character. The people had character.
There is a great deal of what has happened in education that is what's called child-centered learning.
Instead of bringing the children up to the standard, we brought the standard down to the child.
In an attempt to appease them, not push them too hard and not squeeze their self-esteem too hard, we'll do this sort of child-centered thing where they can pick the things that they're most interested in.
Our students came in, some of them with very low, not abilities, but very low performance.
For math, it was your basic math. They gave you a sheet of problems and you did that.
Because they hadn't been challenged in the past.
For like science, it was coloring or you do something like that.
We're finding students that are coming in who have taken advanced placement courses, who can't do our easiest program.
The idea behind charter schools, school choice, is that there are many choices.
It's a public school operated by a private organization.
Now we have this wonderful diversity, wonderful choices for kids in charter schools, as well as some competition that's improved district schools.
In no way does the charter school movement look to eliminate typical public schools.
And the charter school allows us to provide this kind of education for students who might otherwise have to pay for this kind of an education at another setting.
Until I came here, I don't remember ever really being challenged a lot.
I went straight from junior high, where I didn't do very much, but I came straight here where they expected you to do a lot of work.
One of the things that we're trying very hard to do at James Madison is to establish a standard that's high and bring the kids up to this standard. It means that we have to teach kids nouns, pronouns, verbs, fractions. We have them memorize literature. We have them memorize the Declaration of Independence.
One of the reasons that we teach Latin is because you have to learn the grammar, you have to learn how to put the words together.
It improves your ability to understand, to use, and to utilize the English vocabulary.
I found that students will live up to whatever expectations are set.
It doesn't matter the socioeconomic status of the kids, it doesn't matter the education level of the parents. Kids can do this.
In this school, the first year I came here, it was different. So first grade I didn't do really good, but then I got on track.
I soon figured out that this school wasn't about like a bunch of brainiacs, you know, someone who had to be super smart to go here, but they were more based on doing the work and getting the work done.
In James Madison, you don't get rewarded necessarily for effort.
They know it's not given to them. They earn what they get here.
Our grading system is strictly on percentage. There is no comparison.
A doctor worked on me that wasn't graded on a curve when it came time to open heart surgery. I would hope that the doctor mastered that subject.
We focus on a traditional education with particular emphasis on American history and government.
Historia est magistra vitae, that's the motto of our school. History is the teacher of life.
Students who understand their history, they will understand their government, and they will understand what it means to be an American.
If we don't know who we are as a country and as a people, it's terribly difficult to be involved in politics.
We are from Iran, so we came from a very different background.
And we asked Mr. B, why American history? And he gave us a good answer. He said, because we live in this country. We got to understand how this country was built. We got to understand its government.
They're going to grow up and they're going to be voting someday.
America is an idea, and this revolutionary idea.
Freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble, all of these freedoms that are in the Bill of Rights are only freedoms if people know that they have them and if they know how to protect them.
But when young people don't know that, and they don't understand that idea, and they don't understand the sacrifices, the ultimate sacrifice, back to the Revolutionary War and on right up and through into Iraq.
By the time the students are finished with the history cycle, they will understand the sacrifices.
When young people don't understand that, I shudder to think what the future would hold.
Our kids are able to try out a whole variety of things.
We tell the students that you don't know if you're good at something if you've never tried it before.
You don't know, unless you try all these things, what you really care about.
There are a lot of sports to choose from.
For volleyball, if I tried out at a public school, I wouldn't even be on the team.
I would say I would get an opportunity to play. Of my height and size.
The only thing I would have to do would be to have passing grades.
We like to think that high school is the time to go broad in learning. When you get to college, then is when you start to narrow in, and then you go deeper.
They've got a buffet of choices.
I'm involved in the newspaper, did drama last year, then in the springtime I played soccer, then this year I did drumline. Right now I'm involved in the choir, girls basketball team, and drama right now too.
And that's what a small school can do.
At James Madison, we have a code of conduct.
Our code of conduct is central to the school.
You may have an IQ that would be in the genius range, but if you don't have character, then it's worthless.
The code of conduct consists of 7 virtues:
courage,
honesty,
integrity,
respectfulness,
responsibility,
strong work ethic,
and self-reliance.
I think the children realize that they have to live up to a certain standard.
My daughter was asked to help someone from another school do a paper.
Offered me $50.
She thought about it and thought about it.
A lot of the code of conduct came to mind.
She said, you know what? No, I can't do that.
I actually felt really guilty about it. And I started to cry because I knew I couldn't do it and feel good about myself and still be able to sit here and talk about how good the school is on the code of conduct, you know?
That kind of character building environment is what really excites me.
If they break the code, there are consequences.
When I sit down with a student in a disciplinary situation, the entire framework of that discussion revolves around their character.
That was one thing that I noticed a difference in Madison Prep.
I've seen the teachers lead by example.
Oh, it's expected of the staff also.
It has happened where I've said something that I should not have said.
But then one of the kids pointed out that, hey, you know, if we're not allowed to say that, why should you be able to say that?
And when I do that, I give myself the same consequence that I give the kids.
And he put himself in supervised lunch.
He didn't just say, oh, I'm a teacher, I'm allowed to do that.
I know sometimes I do wrong things, but I never put myself into trouble for it. It really impressed me.
I've had people, professional educators, tell me, you must be nuts. What are you doing that for? Because I was wrong.
I had never been to a school where a teacher would actually, you know, hold themselves to their own rules.
It's really fun to teach again. I've
seen kids' characters change.
Because I don't have to spend my time telling Junior to sit down and be quiet.
They put a lot of stress on the code.
To be a better person in life.
I like that. These
young people are going to go out, and wherever they are going to be head and shoulders above anyone else.
Charter schools in Arizona are held to a higher standard than typical public schools are.
Unfortunately, we do not get paid at the same rate
We're expected to do more with less.
And it is, in fact, significantly less.
James Madison is at risk because we are underfunded. We are at risk of closing our doors. That is a fact.
We have been forced to do some things to make it work.
We've got to have additional funding.
As any business person understands, you have to pay rent, you have to make payroll, and when you've cut as much as you can cut, something has to give.
We would look for opportunities in the business world for individuals, for entrepreneurs, for foundations, for corporations who believe in what we are doing. Then we would like you to participate, to partner with us.
A whole lot of transparency in the charter school system, I hope, makes people feel much more comfortable in giving services and dollars to support high-quality graduates and the advancement of school choice.
The campus is alive with activity, and the tenor of the campus is upbeat. The students and the teachers have excellent relationships. And to think that can all just be flushed for the lack of a few dollars.
We are different. And we make a difference. And we need your financial help.
According to the U.S. Census, 2000 census, people under the age of 18 make up something like 23% of the population. According to us, they make up 100% of the future.
It is really, as cliched as it may sound, this school is really all about these young people.
If you don't educate the child now, you're going to pay for him in prison later.
The number one job of a generation is to raise the next generation.
I see an older generation that I have respect for. I see a middle generation that I think are absolute slobs, jerks, and I don't want anything to do with them.
A lot of those kids, I'm willing to bet you finished high school. But when they got out of high school, they learned they've been robbed.
And then I look at the younger generation, and I'm terrified of what my life is going to be like when they grow up.
A student who's been steeped in the idea of the value of learning, the value of good character, the value of competition. This student is going to be a more valuable employee or a better employer.
I really want to be more myself than just, I didn't want to be working at some car lot, washing cars or flipping burgers for the rest of my life.
This is the high school where he learned. He grew from a child to a man.
I'm going to take what I've learned here and just apply it, the code of conduct.
I think just the code of conduct really makes this a good school because it makes me feel like a better person.
I didn't have kids to take care of me in my old age. I had kids with the idea that they'll make a difference in the world.
What I learned here ties in with that. Courage and self-reliance and honesty and respectfulness and all of the other things that they teach here. I do know I can make a difference. I just don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna try.